Stars revealed. Today, the guests of Star Wars Weekends get an exclusive, all-access behind-the-scenes tour of Star Wars, The Clone Wars. And now, please welcome your host for Star Wars Weekends, James Arnold Taylor.
Okay, good. Welcome to Star Wars Weekends. We have some Star Wars fans, yes? How about Clone Wars? We like Clone Wars? Anybody not know what Clone Wars is? Oh, I like that. Oh, somebody, D. Bradley Baker was here. We had a little cricket sound on it. That was great. Wow. I'm so glad you all know what Clone Wars is. Now, I am the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi on Star Wars The Clone Wars, as well as Master Plo Koon, and I love Clone Wars. It's so great to be a part of the Star Wars universe. But you know, as the host of Star Wars Weekends, I'm thrilled to be here, but I am not the host you're looking for. No, the host you're looking for is my favorite Jedi, Ahsoka Tano. Yes, we have some Ahsoka fans? We're all very tired, aren't we? It's still the morning. Yeah, James, great. Bring out Ashley. Okay, well, before I bring her out, we need to get a little more energetic here, and let's take a look at her in action on these screens. Take a look. And who are you supposed to be?
I'm Ahsoka.
You're a ray of sunshine. Whenever we walk into the Clone Wars sessions, there's Ashley, ready to go with a smile on her face. And lovely, and fourth or fifth year at Star Wars Weekend.
This is my fourth year hosting Behind the Force.
Anybody else been here for the many years? Yes?
Okay. You know, James, I hope our crowd is ready for some action today.
Yeah, because we have some cool stuff. Now, this is a fun show. I mean, I love doing this show. I love being able to come out here with you, but there's some new things happening, yeah?
Yes. And I hope we have a great experience where everyone in our audience is going to get a chance to participate in the show today. So like I said, I hope you guys are ready for some action.
Yes. Come on, are you ready for some action? You're all going to be voice actors in this, so you got to be excited about it.
Yes, we need everyone's help. But first, we need to catch you up on season 4. It kicked off with a huge underwater battle.
It gets bigger and bigger every season, and I don't know how they're going to outdo themselves, but they do. You were in shark-infested waters, right?
Yes.
And I was undercover as Rico Hardin, Obi-Wan Kenobi. That was pretty cool. Shaved his head and shaved his beard. That was strange, yeah.
Yes, but you know, James, it was a pretty long season, and this is only a 30-minute show. So I think we need to show our audience what happened in season 4, and if you've already seen it, then you need to see it again. So let's watch these screens for a recap. That's our signal. Let's get going.
Now you're in Clone Wars and you're involved in that, and you're a wonderful actress as well, but you're also quite the entrepreneur and clothing designer. Now I don't know if everybody knows this, but Ashley has made her own line of sci-fi clothing for ladies, yes? Because we have ladies that enjoy sci-fi called Her Universe. And this is one, looking for love in all the wrong places, and it's got Luke and Leia on it. That's pretty cute.
Episode 4, they definitely were looking for love in all the wrong places.
Alderaan, I love that, yes. But
Yes, that's one of our very special models, but I think she's close to your heart, James.
She is. That's actually my daughter, Lydia.
Yeah.
Oh,
and she is
thank
quite
you.
the Ahsoka fan.
Yeah, she is.
actually teaches me the Jedi movies.
She scares me when she gets to, okay, all right. Okay, well, I know as a Jedi when to be here and when to leave, and I sense I should give this crowd over to you now, and I think you're in good hands, yes?
Thank you so much. Make sure to come back, 3:15 stars in the Saga Talk Show. Obi-Wan Beyond, 4:45, and visit to the mall at
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Very good.
Your Star Wars Weekends host, James Arnold Taylor, everyone. Well, as you can see from that recap, Star Wars: The Clone Wars is full of excitement, action, adventure, and stories that take you to a galaxy far, far away. And it is my honor to take you behind the Force today and show you how an episode of The Clone Wars is put together. Because Star Wars: The Clone Wars is not like most animated television shows. These are like 22-minute mini movies. And when Star Wars creator George Lucas decided to bring Star Wars: The Clone Wars to the screen, he needed to not only find someone that was an amazing director and someone that understood the universe, but also someone that was a very big fan. So it is my honor to introduce you today on these screens the supervising director of Star Wars: The Clone Wars and my personal Jedi Master. Please welcome Dave Filoni.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. So, hello everyone at Star Wars Weekends. I am Dave Filoni, the supervising director of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And I hear you want to know how we make an episode of Clone Wars. Well, like any good TV show or film, it all starts with story. It starts with an idea from George Lucas. That idea turns into a script. The script tells us everything we need to know about an episode. That way we know what to design. Design is the process where we design what the characters look like. We do it by doing drawings, still sometimes with pencils, but a lot of times with computers, and we even do maquettes, which look like toys. Those designs then come to life in a computer in the form of a 3D model. That's what the Clone Wars really is. That's our actual actor. So then we have to texture that model. Texturing a model is kind of like painting a virtual model kit like you might buy at a hobby shop. It gets all hand painted just inside the computer, but then it doesn't move. So how do we make it move? Well, that's rigging. Rigging controls everything from the way elbows move and knees bend, to how face and lips move, and even the eyes blink. That's what drives the animation. While all that's going on, the directors and I are working on something we call 3D story, which is basically the shooting of a film inside the computer. Once we have all those shots and sequences, it moves into editorial. Editorial is the process by which we cut up the individual scenes and create the story through a series of cuts. Here we are at the studio in Los Angeles, California. Now, this is where we record all the voices for Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and this is when the characters really come to life. Ashley?
And here's where the fun begins, because we all join Dave inside the booth behind the microphones, where we use our acting and visualization skills to bring the characters to life. We have some amazing voice actors, very talented people like Tom Kane as Yoda, D. Bradley Baker, Captain Rex, James Arnold Taylor, Obi-Wan, Catherine Tabor, Padme, D. Bradley Baker, Commander Cody, Nico Futterman, Ventress, Matt Lanter, Anakin, D. Bradley Baker, 99, Seth Green, Toto, John Favreau, Pre Vizsla, D. Bradley Baker, Echo, Corey Burton, Dooku, and then there's me, Ahsoka.
At your service, my lady.
Yes, Padawan, very good, well done. So once they're finished with the voices, we send the episode overseas to be animated. Animation is all about performance. It's how we relate to the characters. It's when these characters stop looking like just simple blocky shapes sliding around. When we add the texture and we add the lighting, everything looks beautiful. And then we bring it into final sound design and music. Once it's all together, you have a finished episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
You know, as we are busy busy working on season 5 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It's amazing to think that someone, somewhere in the world, is working on an episode of The Clone Wars almost 24 hours a day.
It's true, Ashley. We're constantly working on the show. We're ever broadening the canvas of the types of stories we can tell. With Jedi, Sith Lords, bounty hunters, strange creatures. We bring characters from the original trilogy of Star Wars together with characters from the prequel trilogy. And just like we bring families together, young and old, to watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars. So, dealing with these iconic characters is something you do all the time, Ashley. Why don't you tell everybody what it's like to bring one of these characters to life?
It would be my honor, Master Filoni.
And remember, Padawan, I will be watching with great interest.
No pressure. Well, it's truly been an honor to bring the character of Ahsoka Tano to life on Star Wars: The Clone Wars. But I don't really want to answer this question by myself because we have an amazing cast, as I mentioned before. And our special guest today knows all too well what it's like to bring one of the most iconic Star Wars characters to life. He is not only the voice of our announcer on Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Admiral Yularen, but most notably the voice of Yoda. So please help me welcome Tom Kane.
Nice night to you.
I was just going to say, I bet our audience didn't know Yoda was so tall.
Yeah, I know. It's the fact that I'm a human doesn't seem to surprise anyone, but I'm a tall human. That's a shocker.
Well, Tom, you are definitely a legend in the voiceover field. Tell our audience how you got started.
I was actually a kid, and it was summertime, and this is back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, and I just thought it'd be fun to hear myself on television. I really didn't know. I grew up in Kansas City, a suburb of Overland Park, and this was back in the 70s, and we didn't know. We had no internet or anything, so I couldn't Google, how people do commercials. So I just started calling the local advertisers that had really bad sounding commercials and saying, I sound better, can I do it?
Wow, so how old were you?
I was 15.
So you were 15 when you got started?
Yeah, I started doing commercials. By the time I got out of high school, I'd probably done 70 or 80. And by the time I got out of college, I'd done 200 or 300, and here I am. So.
Wow. Now,
Crazy.
do you have any advice for some young kids out there that want to be voiceover actors?
Well, you have to be a little fearless and not so worried about people looking at you funny because, you have to practice. I mean, it was one of those things, really practice. I mean, I used to walk up down the aisles at the grocery store and I would be in the cereal department and at the age of even like 16, 17, I was, going, Frosted Flakes, they're great! People like, moms would grab their kids like, let's go over here.
Well, Tom, not only are you the voice of Yoda, Admiral Yularen, the announcer, but tell us about some of your other roles.
One of my favorites is Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I'm Mr. Harriman the Bunny Rabbit, so you must have blue rules of inspired. There's Mr. Harriman. On the Powerpuff Girls, I'm the dad, Professor Utonium. Utonium was the worst lab assistant I ever had.
That's my favorite.
And recently I did, I'm one of the cool things I did last year was I'm a Smurf. They made a new Smurf. I'm narrator Smurf.
Ooh.
And we just finished recording the Smurfs movie 2, as you can see. So we'll be doing that. That'll be out next summer, so it'll be fun.
Very cool. Well, Tom, we're taking our audience behind the scenes today, showing them what it's like to put together an episode of The Clone Wars. So you want to help?
I would love to.
All right, well, let's check in with Dave again and see what's next. Dave?
Hey, Ashley. Here's another thing I thought would be good for the audience to try. Why don't we do a crowd scene? Like when we do a really big battle with a lot of explosions, or when we're in the cantina with a large group of people. But it requires, the audience could have to make a lot of sound, so that's what I need.
We can do that.
Yeah, what do you guys think? You want to help us?
Make some noise. Make some noise.
Well, what Dave needs, as he mentioned, is we need crowd walla. Here we go, got my handy cards here. We need some crowd walla. And on Star Wars: The Clone Wars, when we find ourselves going to new planets, we find ourselves in big crowds. So we need the background sounds for those big crowd scenes. And on regular TV shows, the background sounds, we need human sounds, but since this is Star Wars The Clone Wars, we have all sorts of crazy creatures, or aliens, so we need some alien and creature sounds from you today. But to give you some tips, we're actually going to go to the expert, because we have one of our cast members, Dee Bradley Baker, who's the voice of Captain Rex, all of the clones on the Clone Wars, also does a lot of creature sounds, not only for the Clone Wars, but other shows like Avatar or Legend of Korra. So let's go to Dee and get some tips on how to be a creature.
Hey Ashley, okay, creature sounds 101. Let's start with an exhale. Make sure you use the back of your throat to kind of pinch it together to get an alien sound. Articulate, so it's like you're talking. Now if you want, you can pinch your nose to make it sound even weirder. Now let's switch it up. Let's try with an inhale. That can be really fun. Sort of a pig-like thing you start with, and then you can modify it, or you can make it go low, and then you can modify it with the nose pinch. Now I was dialing in the uvula a little bit there, which is kind of a nice little secret that I like to use, and you can try here too. So remember, be uninhibited, have lots of fun, do not be afraid. You're an alien. Go for it.
I tried to dial in my uvula one time and ended up in the ER. So, it didn't work so good. You know, he was actually the Zillo Beast. People don't realize that Captain Rex was the Zillo Beast. He's amazing.
You know, he was also the Geonosian Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's done a lot of crazy creature sounds on our show. But, you know, up on these screens, we're going to show you a scene. We're going to jump into hyperdrive to Mos Eisley. And we need some background sounds for this scene right here. So we need creatures, we need monsters, we need aliens, we need people shouting. You shot first. No, you shot first.
You're watching the scene and, you know, all these things in the background have to make a noise. So you guys are going to be the background creature noises.
Yes. Crowd walla. So are you guys ready?
Right? Okay, so...
You're dialing in your uvula there?
Yes. Okay. On 3, pick a creature in your head and make that noise. So 1, 2, 3. Some actual individual, like people that would be in the foreground, so you hear more. So,
I heard some Wookiees back there.
Yeah, I heard a
Let's see.
Wookiee-ish thing.
Let's see. I hear some sounds over here.
Let's see. Here, you make a noise. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay.
Ooh, a little salacious crumb there.
Salacious
Okay.
crummy. All right, let's see. Here. Yeah, let's see. Ready? Try some.
That was awesome.
I don't know what she had for breakfast.
Well, Tom, you know what? That was good. But I sense the force is strong with all of the kids in our audience today. So all the kids out there, who wants to be a clone? We need all the kids that want to be clones, stand up. All the kids in our audience that want to be clones, stand up. I see a lot of kids that aren't standing up. Okay, come on. We need you to stand up here.
We're gonna send you into battle.
Yes, we are going to need some crowd walla for this scene from the Darkness on Umbara. So the clones are getting ready to go into battle on Umbara. And so we need you to say, whenever we ask you a question, we need you to say, sir, yes, sir. Okay? Let's practice that right now.
Sir.
Oh, wait, one more try.
Oh, you gotta do better than that.
Yeah, we need it louder than that. We need to say, sir, yes, sir, go.
Much better.
All right, well, before you go into battle, Master Yoda and Commander Tano, we're going to ask you some questions as we're preparing for battle.
So let's try it again. So, strong with the force will you be? Very good.
Will you be brave in the force of the dark side?
Will a guardian of peace in the galaxy you be?
Will you give me all your fast passes so I can ride Star Tours?
Whoa. Easy, Padawan.
You sounded unsure on that. Okay, now we're going to roll the scene. What I need you to do, you need to all stay standing. It's going to get really, really loud in here. But when I point to you, I'm going to ask you some questions, Let's roll the scene. Roll it. James!
I heard that that one borrowed.
James, we were just getting some crowd wallow from our audience out here.
It's good. Let me take this mask off. I just... hot under there. Oh, I'm kidding. Come on, it's me.
Well, James, we were just, as I mentioned, getting some crowd wallow
They
from our
sound
audience
great.
here.
Yeah.
But you know, we have such a big cast and we have so much fun in the studio.
Sure.
And when we go in to record a new episode, we go into the studio usually as a cast, and we get to record the entire episode together. So we
Yeah.
want to show you what that's like today, but
Good
we
idea.
need some more cast members. So we need to find 2 honorary cast members today. So James and Tom,
Okay.
I need to find one boy that's
Okay.
going to be the voice of Senator Bail Organa, and I need one girl who's going to be the voice of Ahsoka's best friend, Barasafi. So let's see. Who can we find out there?
Now,
What
Bail
kind
Organa
of-
is very kind of diplomatic, calm senator. Full strong. I'm feeling the force and strong here. Yes? Would you like to try and be Bail Organa?
Yes.
Come on up.
Come on up.
Oh, he's got Darth Vader on his shirt. I don't know about that. All right.